Just want to go into this little lesson real quick. I was thinking about it real heavy. As let me put this together. It's really not edifying, speak on some important topics. Cause I was talking to somebody else too about it, about why people in these conditions and why we go through all this different stuff we go through, how everything was meant to happen, how it's supposed to happen. And a lot of people, they still be stuck on the fact that who wrote what and who did what and all that, and they don't realize like the scriptures is really holy, which means separate. They ain't like every book that you just pick up and read. Like, it ain't like the Quran, it ain't like no Book of Buddha, or none of that nonsense. They got spread around the world. That's why it's like the number one book sold around the world still to this day. But it's a book of Psalms, chapter 68, verse 11. It said, "The Lord gave the word. Great was the company of those that published it." And the people that published this book, they translated from the Hebrew, the Greek, the Latin, and all the different languages. Was inspired by the Most High. And some people can't accept that. But they might have a dream or something and be like, "Oh, the Lord spoke to me," and all that, but they can't accept the fact that the Lord really set up other men to teach and, have the Spirit on them to understand these words in full detail, have visions, be able to, pray and cast out spirits and all different type of stuff, but they'll go get their money out to these other little silly little areas and silly little buildings and not even get edified at all. But we're going to some more scriptures. This is in the book of Romans, chapter 10, verse 15. It says, "And how shall they preach except they be sent, as it is written?" So if a person really ain't sent to really, know this stuff and speak on this, how can they preach? Because you got preachers, they go preach, yeah. They might have their charters, their degrees and all that stuff. But the men of the Lord ain't had no degrees. When you read through the scriptures, not one time it was mentioned that they had degrees. Now you have people like Paul that say it was learned. And that's because he was brought up among certain men and, certain people and individuals. But they didn't say he had no degrees and go to theological school to learn about this different stuff. The Spirit of the Lord was on him. I'm going to go into some more. And still in the book of Romans, chapter 10, verse 20, it says, "But Esaias," which is really Elijah, it said, "But Esaias is very bold and says, I was fond of them that sought me not. I was made manifest unto them that asked not after me." But to Israel he said, "All day long have I stretched forth my hands unto a disobedient and gainsaying people." And who that sound like? I ain't even been amongst our people and be trying to speak on scriptures or different stuff and be like, "Oh, you still believe in that? A white man wrote that." They edited some of that. They twisted it. "Oh, that don't mean that." That's how people all day. We go to them and try to drop some knowledge and stuff they don't want to hear. Now you have a few amongst them, and I'm going to get into that when we talk about the remnant. You got some that actually listen and be like, "Hey, that make perfect sense." And it's the reason why. It's chapter 11. I'm going to just read through chapter 11 all the way to verse 11 in chapter 11. It says, "I say then, has Yahweh cast away his people? Yahweh forbid, for I also am an Israelite, of the seed of Abraham," not just of spirit, because you have some people stuck on that. "Oh, I'm a spiritual such and such." It's of the seed of your forefather. It says, "Of the seed of Abraham, of the tribe of Benjamin." It says, "Yahweh hath not cast away his people, which he foreknew." Well, you not what scripture said to Elias, which is Elijah. It's just translated at different wording because of the time frames with the Greek and the Latin. It says, and I'm reading the King James Version, 1638 edition. But the 1611 edition got more detailed in different books that they took out, which is the Apocrypha. But that's something for later on I can speak on. And I'm going to start back over. It says, "Yahweh hath not cast away his people, which he foreknew. Wote ye not what scriptures saith of Elias, which is Elijah, how he maketh intercession to Yahweh against Israel, saying, Lord, they have killed the prophets, and did down thy altars, and I am left alone, and they seek my life." Because sometimes when you really start trying to walk in this, you spend a lot of time alone. No I be trying to vibe with y'all there because it be wicked as fuck. And you tell them what you went to, and they'll be like, oh, why you be reading that for? Like, what you be on this for? Meanwhile, they out here doing the most wickedest shit under the sun. But they looking at you like you weird or something. So they make you feel alone and say, I am left alone, and they seek my life. And these niggas could right now. They'll be killing niggas for speaking on these scriptures, but the Lord ain't letting that go down like that. Well, back then, they was doing it, though. They say, but what said the answer of Yahweh unto them, until him? I have reserved to myself, and this was going into the remnant. This I have reserved to myself 7,000 men who have not bowed the knee to the image of Baal, which is what they worship today. That Baphomet stuff, that Satan, that Molech, that Asherah, all different deities tied into one. Baal, that's where that word come from. It said, even so then, at this present time, also there's a remnant, according to the election of grace, and if by grace, there is it no more of works, otherwise grace is no more grace. But if it be of works, then is it no more grace, otherwise work is no more work. And verse 7, what then? Israel have not obtained that which he seeketh for, but the election have obtained it, and the rest were blinded. So the people don't really be understanding this, they blind. No matter how you can read it to them, make a video, make a recording, you can highlight it and tell them to go read it themselves. They've been blinded, and that's why. It said, according as it is written, Yahweh have given them the spirit of slumber, eyes that they should not see, and ears that they should not hear until this day. So a lot of people, they ain't gonna hear or see none of this, so you can point it out all you want. And when I first started learning this different stuff, I kind of was moved a certain way about that, but now I ain't got no problem with it. I understand now. I be seeing why they've been blinded. And say, and David said, let their table be made a snare and a trap and a stumbling block and a recompense unto them, that their eyes be darkened, that they may not see, and bow down their back always. I say then, have they stumbled, that they should fall? Yahweh forbid, but rather through their fall, salvation is coming to the Gentiles, for to provoke them to jealousy. And the reason why they're gonna be jealous, because they don't understand that Gentile stuff either. Because you got well, not all people, but some people know. You got the heathen Gentiles, then you got the actual our people that was scattered amongst the Gentiles that look like them, but they actually are people. Just like if I go have sex with a Japanese woman, or go have sex with a Korean woman, or Arab woman, or whatever, chick from Australia, baby might look like the mother, but still technically that's my seed. That's why I say back up in chapter 11, verse 1, it say, I say then, have Yahweh cast away his people? Yahweh forbid, for I am also an Israelite of the seed of Abraham. So as long as a man here, that seed gonna go out through the earth. That's just how it go down. Yeah, people might be like, oh, well, the Lord don't think like that no more. Oh, he changed. It's just the spirit now. It's just how the spirit feel. But I'm going to jump over to verse 34 in chapter 11. It say, for who have known the mind of the Lord, or who have been his counselor? That's not how you going to see. You can't say no stuff like that. A lot of these pastors, they do that too, because they like to pass that plate around and pick up that money. But me personally, I don't care about the money. I'd rather the elect wake up and we get the fuck out of here. That's what I really care about. That's why that money. That dollar gonna collapse anyway. It ain't backed by no gold. It ain't no real currency. It's just paper with numbers on it. And people see that and go nuts. But when it collapses, that's when the true colors of people gonna show them. I'm gonna go some more into why are people in these conditions, but we're gonna get restored though. It ain't gonna stay like this for too much longer. I'm going to the book of Jeremiah. start at verse 15, chapter 7 in the book of Jeremiah. It says, I will cast you out of my sight as I have cast out all of your brethren, even the whole seed of Ephraim. Because Ephraim is one of the tribes too, which is out of the 12 tribes of Israel. But on verse 16 it says, therefore pray not thou for this people, neither lift up a cry nor a prayer for them, neither make intercession to me, for I will not hear thee. And the reason why, because they worshiping these idols, and they know the truth. You got the truth all around. Ain't no hiding it now. Like, they try to take down channels, ban certain stuff and all that. No, they try to ban the scriptures. You can't hide it. The truth always come to light, no matter what. It said in verse 17, it says, seest thou not what they do in the cities of Judah and in the streets of Jerusalem? And you still got some of our people scattered over in Jerusalem right now, and they partake in that Tel Aviv parade. And you don't know what that is, go look it up. Say study to show thyself approved, so you got to go look it up. It said the children gather wood, and all the fathers kindle the fire, and the women knead their dough to make cakes to the queen of heaven. And you got a lot of women that really be on that stuff, especially behind closed doors. A lot of these chicks be some witches. You'll be surprised. They'll be practicing that voodoo crap and that Santeria, white magic, black magic, all that different stuff. They be on that shit. They say to make cakes to the queen of heaven and to pour out drink offerings to other gods, that they may provoke me to anger. And that's why the Most High got us like this. Because we got the greatest power ever. And what our people do, want to go worship Buddha, want to go worship Shiva, want to go worship Molech, Ishtar, which is translated to Easter. We want to go worship all the different stuff, but they don't want to worship Yahweh. It says, I'm going to go back to it. It says, the children gather wood, and the fathers kindle the fire, and the women knead their dough to make cakes to the queen of heaven, and to pour out drink offerings unto other gods, that they may provoke me to anger. And that's why we jacked up to this day. You gotta pay taxes, rent. We should have land. We shouldn't be stacked up on top of each other paying no rent and all that different stuff. That's wicked. You should have cattle, silver and gold, gems and rubies and stuff like that. Gardens. That's real wealth. I'm going to read some more into it through the book of Jeremiah, and I'm going to close out as I get done with this. I'm going to jump over to verse 24 in chapter 7. It say, well, they hearken not, nor incline their ear, but walked in the counsel and in the imagination of their evil heart, and went backward and not forward. And who that's talking about? And you still got people be like, oh, well, we don't know if we the Israelites, or we don't know if we the people the Bible speak of. What our people do, man? We the greatest people on the earth, and what happened? It say, and went backward and not forward. Our people get in these areas, they be fucking stuff up, trashing it, just leaving trash everywhere and filth. And you know what's bad about these crackers? They like seeing that. They like looking down like, oh, look, we knew these niggas was gonna do that. And that's how they be acting too. Let's say in verse 25 in chapter 7 of the book of Jeremiah, it says, since the day that your fathers came forth out of the land of Egypt until this day, I have even sent unto you all my servants, the prophets, daily rising up early and sending them. And the Lord still do that. People got a problem. It's like a big issue that, how you know all this, how you get all this knowledge. And the scriptures clearly say that you have an unction from the Holy One and you know all things. Now, I don't mean everybody gonna know that, just certain men know that. Can't get mad. You get mad, you go try to get mad at the Most High and see what happens. Because He the one to send certain men. It said, yet, I'm gonna read it over again, because that's a deep scripture. Because that's really what go on now. It says, since the day that your fathers came forth out of the land of Egypt, because you got our people now, they still want to go be Kemetic and go back to Egypt, go back to Mizraim, and want to be like Hamites, but don't want to be who they really are. until came forth out of the land of Egypt unto this day. I have even sent unto you all my servants, the prophets, daily, rising up early and sending them. Yet they hearkened not unto me, nor inclined their ear, but hearkened their neck, and did worse than their fathers. And you see that every day. What these niggas be worse than their fathers? It's fucked up, but it'd be like that. Say, therefore thou shalt speak all these words unto them, but they will not hearken unto thee. Thou shalt also call unto them, but they will not answer thee. And I know personally, I done been amongst a lot of people, and they be like, oh, well, I don't want to hear about that Bible right now. Why you want to talk about that Bible? Talk about something else. That ain't gonna happen in this lifetime. But it's clearly happening. You got the wars and rumors of wars, the signs in the heavens, the moon, the sun, earthquakes in diverse places, people having dreams and visions. So that stuff happening, but they be like, oh, it ain't gonna happen in our lifetime though. All right. Well, we're gonna be restored though, so through the elect, through the remnant. Because a lot of people gonna get wiped out. Everybody ain't gonna make it on the first go around. I'm gonna jump in the book of Jeremiah 16, verse 13, and say, therefore will I cast you out of this land into a land that you know not. And this is another scripture to prove that North America was in the scriptures, even though it was spoken of in code, but it was in there. Say, into a land that you know not, neither ye nor your fathers, and there shall you serve other gods day and night, which our people still do to this day. They say, where I will not show you favor. And that's why the Lord be mad. Because you got the greatest power that created us, gave us all this talent, this salt, and niggas still gonna worship other stuff. I say, therefore, behold, the days come, saith the Lord, and it should no more be said, the Lord liveth. They brought up the children of Israel out of the land of Egypt, but the Lord liveth. Because the next salvation is going to be way greater. When you think about the Red Sea and all the plagues on the Pharaoh and all that different stuff, this next Exodus is going to top that. Let me start that back over. It says, therefore, behold, the days come, saith the Lord, that it shall no more be said, the Lord liveth. They brought up the children of Israel out of the land of Egypt, but the Lord liveth that brought up the children of Israel from the land of the north. And where's the land of the north? We in the land of the north. And saying from all the lands whither he had driven them, and I will bring them again into their land, which they fighting over right now, over in Israel, that I gave unto their fathers. Behold, I will send for many fishers, saith the Lord, and they shall fish them, and after will I send for many hunters, and they shall hunt them from every mountain, from every hill, and out of the holes of the rocks. Because these elites, they hiding out too. They know what's going on. They got some on that might pop out every now and then, but the real top elites, they in the mountains, they in them rocks, they in them underwater cities, and they in those space hotels. And say, for my eyes are upon all their ways, and they are not hid from my face, neither is there iniquity hid from my eyes. So this next restoration is going to be amazing, man. You can't get in your feelings about certain people not making it on the first go around, because overall, all Israel going to come back. It's just going to be in a different order. Because you do have a lot of people be like, oh, I feel like this and I feel like that. But no feelings. You got to think logical sometimes. Ain't nothing wrong with feeling, but logic overweight feelings. And it's another scripture in the book of Jeremiah, chapter 17, verse 9, that prove that. It say, the heart is deceitful above all things and desperately wicked. Who can know it? And your heart will be deceitful. You'll be like, oh, I feel like this should happen. And this shit don't even make no sense. It's just because how you feel. Or you might be like, I feel like somebody don't like me. And this person might not even be thinking nothing about you. but you just feel like that. But hey, it be like that. But all this stuff coming to pass, I'm gonna just end it on this note with this scripture. In the book of Jeremiah, chapter 17, verse 7, it says, "Blessed is the man that trusteth in the Lord Yahweh, and whose hope the Lord is." So all this stuff going on, all these different prophecies, I see it, time is flying by. We're already in September. Before you know it, I'll be looking up, it'll be December, Lord's willing, I'll still be here. Lord's willing, we get up out of here quicker, because we ain't got to be here that long. If it was on my behalf, but hey, my word don't count for it. It's all what the Most High want to do. If He want to speed up the prophecies quicker, or let them play out a little bit longer. I know I'm ready to get up out of Babylon, and there's other men that's ready to get out of Babylon too. So, trusting in the Lord, having faith, repenting, practicing keeping the commandments, being in holy conversation, being vigilant of what's really going on in society, not being caught up in folly. And, basically get ready. Because we're in them serious times. This ain't no time to be lollygagging and playing around when it comes to reading these scriptures and speaking on them and spreading the word and letting people know the name of the Most High and the Son, because the names do matter. As much as people like to say the name don't matter. Because it do matter. As a matter of fact, I was going to end it, but the Spirit on me, so I'm finna just keep going even more. Just speak on why the name matter even more. It say in book of Romans, it say, "For I will not, brethren, that you should not be ignorant of this mystery," because it is a mystery to some. But the scriptures say, "Surely the Lord doeth nothing but reveal all His secrets to the servants and the prophets." And even the mystery that been hidden for ages is revealed to the saints. So, in verse 25, it say, "For I will not, brethren, that you should be ignorant of this mystery, that you should be wise in your own conceits, that blindness in part is happening to Israel, until the fullness of the Gentiles be come in. And so all Israel shall be saved," even though a lot of people gonna get wiped out on this first go around when this second Exodus come. But Israel's still gonna come back, and how they gonna come back? Through the seed of the saints. That's why the scriptures say, one of you should become a small nation. And that's another topic for later, how one man gonna become a small nation, because you still got women stuck on this. Well, I don't want no man if he talk to multiple women. I'll get on that topic later. What it say? There should come out of Zion, which is Zion, translated, to Zion in the Hebrew. It say the deliverer. It should turn away all ungodliness from Jacob. When you translate the deliverer in the Hebrew, it's Yahweh. So I'm just wanting to end it on that. So shalom to the apostles, all the teachers, and the other elders. Shalom to the elect.